Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today we're gonna take a quick look at yet another Kuva weapon, and this time around it is going to be the Kuva Tonkor, or rather my variant of the Kuva Tonkor, the Tick Ud Kuva Tonkor. Now you get the Kuva Tonkor just like any other Kuva weapon. You have to keep spawning liches until you get one that has the Kuva Tonkor, and once you vanquish him you'll be able to pick it up in your foundry. The Kuva Tonkor is a mastery rank 13 grenade launcher that does 674 damage per shot. And it's actually primarily slash based. There's 270 damage as slash, 228 as blast, and 176 as puncture. Now, when it comes to the secondary stats, the crit is pretty good at 30%, it has an above average 2.5 times crit multiplier, and the status chance is pretty cool as well at 17%. Now, when we compare the standard Tonkor to the Kuva version, we can see that the Kuva Tonkor has 5% extra crit. It still has only one round to the magazine, but it has faster reload speed at 1.5 seconds, and it has 17% status, which is almost double of what the original one had. And we can see that the explosion is actually slightly smaller on the Kuva version. It's only 5 meters, whereas on the original it was 6, and of course the damage distribution is completely different because the original Tonkor did almost exclusively blast. And other than that, the Kuva Tonkor sports all the improvements that were made to the standard Tonkor. So the grenades now detonate on impact, they no longer bounce around, which is fantastic, and it also has an ultra-light self-damage protection, where the grenades only arm after traveling 6 meters from the barrel. The one thing to bear in mind here is that the grenades are relatively slow and they also arc downward, so it's relatively easy to actually hit yourself if you slide or bullet jump in the direction that you're firing. However, this is very much avoidable if you pay at least a little bit of attention, so cautious shot is really not necessary unless you're running a lot of sprint speed or you're going with like speed vaults or sprinting gauss, in which case you might want to put it on. Now, since this is a Kuva weapon, you ideally want to put on 5 Forma to extract all the mastery from it and also unlock the option to install a lens, but you realistically only need 2, both of which are going to be a V. And the setup I'm running is pretty straightforward, so I have Sedation for damage, Split Chamber for multi-shot, Point Strike for crit chance, Vital Sense for crit damage, then I'm running Vigilante supplies for the ammo mutation, so I never run out of ammo, but I also get the overcrit bonus from the set. Then in the end, I ended up going with Vigilante Armament, which gives me more multi-shot, and this is just nice. It basically guarantees a second grenade, and it gives a 50% chance to fire a third one for a big spike of damage. And since this is the second Vigilante mod that we're using, we now have a 10% chance to enhance a crit from a yellow one to an orange one. And we top it all off with some dual stat mods, so we have Thermite rounds for heat and status, and then Malignant Force and High Voltage for corrosive and status. And this is just a really nice, well-rounded setup, particularly for this type of Tonkor, because I rolled it with extra heat, so I have a lot more heat than I otherwise would have. Now, when it comes to the performance, it's good, but it's not like one-shot everything kind of good, though it still does more than enough damage to take you through the entire game. The biggest problem are unsurprisingly really high level Grenier with a ton of armor. When it comes to the infested, you can one-shot them no problem, and most of the corpus will die in a single shot as well. So as far as I'm concerned, it does more than enough. Now, I did try a Hunter Munitions viral setup as well, because it was just like, okay, it's mostly slash, it has crit, alright, let's do it, but I really wasn't feeling it. It did decent damage, so if you like it, just take out the third dual stat mod and just go viral and then put in Hunter Munitions, but the corrosive heat setup just feels better. Now, I'm gonna be honest here, I wasn't really all that excited to get the Kuva Tonkor. I just saw it on a lich and I was like, it's something I don't have, so I guess I will get it. And it's because I used to love the Tonkor. I would use it all the time, like a few years back when it first came out. It was amazing, it was my favorite weapon. And then one day, out of nowhere, they just made it do self-damage, right? My favorite weapon that allowed you to rocket jump back in the day, and they made it do self-damage, which I absolutely hate. So imagine my surprise when I finally get the Kuva Tonkor and I take it out for a spin, only to realize that not only do the grenades now detonate on impact, it has self-damage protection as well. And I basically went from, whatever, to I am going to marry this thing. It's so good! Oh my god! It's like the old Tonkor, but better. I'm pretty sure it's not for everyone because the grenades have travel time and they arc downward as they fly, so not only do you have to lead the target because of the flight time, you also have to kind of guess how low the grenade is going to drop based on the distance between you and the target, but it's exactly the kind of stuff that I like. It's why I love the original Tonkor and why I love things like the Kuva Yanga and ultimately the Kuva Tonkor. This right here is my jam. But anyway, that's enough blabbering for today, so if you see this weapon on a lich, definitely pick it up, it's awesome, and as always guys, I thank you very much for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time, bye bye.